time to make our superhero scene. What you're going to need is a blank piece of paper, a pencil, some crayons to color it in. If you have a black marker, then you can use the black marker to outline. But if you do not have a black marker to outline, it's okay. You don't need it. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to lay down your piece of white paper. Now, it doesn't matter if you want your superhero scene to be wide and short, or if you want it to be tall and long. I did this example wide and short, but I'm going to do this one tall and long. It doesn't matter how you put it. So the first thing that we're going to draw is that we're going to draw what's called a horizon line. A horizon line is a line that goes from side to side that separates the ground from the sky. So the first thing that we're going to do is draw that horizon line. And I'm going to pick a place maybe a little bit lower than halfway. And I'm going to draw that horizon line across. Notice it doesn't have to be super straight. It's okay. Then underneath my horizon line, I'm going to draw the lines that create my street. So I'm going to do another horizontal line, a line that goes across my page. I'm going to leave a couple of finger spaces down, and I'm going to draw another horizontal line across. Okay, but I want to put tiny little rectangles across my street to show that it is a street. So in between these two lines, I'm going to draw a tiny rectangle there, and I'm going to move over. I'm going to do a tiny rectangle, move over, tiny rectangle, tiny rectangle, tiny rectangle in a line, and tiny rectangle. Once you've gone from side to side, putting those tiny rectangles, now we can start on our buildings. For our buildings, notice how I made the buildings different heights and different widths. Okay? You also want to make your buildings different heights and widths to show that they are different separate buildings in your city. So I might start from the side and say, maybe I'm going to start off with a shorter building. So I'm going to make a horizontal line across. And then, since I want it to only be that wide, I'm going to draw a vertical line down. See how I created a rectangle. Then for my next building, starting right at the corner of my the building I just made, I'm going to make that line grow even taller and stop. I'm going to make it this wide. I'm going to make a skinny little building, and then I'm going to draw that vertical line going all the way down to my horizon line and stop. Maybe my next building is a little bit shorter, so I'm going to start it from here. I'm going to do a horizontal line, maybe it's a wide building, and stop. And make a vertical line all the way to the horizon line and stop. Nice. Maybe this one's super tall. So from this building, I'm going to go up. Maybe I want to make it a tower. So I can make a diagonal line that's a slanted line up, a slanted line down, so it looks like a point. And then I'm going to draw my vertical line down, stopping at the horizon line. My next building, I might make it really short, like really short. So I'm going to go way down over here, stop, all the way down to my horizon line, stop. And then my last building, I'll make it about medium size. So I'm going to go a little bit taller, and then horizontal line across and stop. Nice. So now we have the outlines of our buildings going from one side of our page to the other. Let's start adding the rectangles inside our buildings for all the windows. So inside your buildings, you can make small rectangles. Doesn't have to be all in a row. You can just make them here and there because maybe most of the people have their lights off. And you're just going to make small rectangles inside each building. If you want to add some doors, you can do that too. The door can just be starting from the horizon line, making a rectangle like that. So make a door here, and then I'm going to do some more small rectangles until every building has some small rectangles for at least their windows. If you want to add doors, you can add doors. Okay, now I'm looking. I want to see where's the best place in the sky to put my superhero. It looks like I have the most space right here. So what I want to do is I'm going to put my my superhero's head over here. So I'm going to draw a circle. Okay. From that circle, I'm going to start drawing the cape. So that means I'm going to draw a diagonal line going out. And then I'm going to draw a second diagonal line going out the other way. So it looks like I'm almost drawing a triangle, and I'm going to do the end of the cape, connecting those two lines. Then for my face, I can just do a simple face. So 2 dots and a line is fine. And I can do my hair. If you have short hair, it can just be small little strokes. If you have long hair, you can make your hair go long and outward because you're flying. Once you have your face and your hair, let's do our arms. And all our arms are just little loops that are coming from our cape, like right underneath our face. We're going to do a loop and stop at your cape. Our next arm is going to come from this side of our face. It's going to loop out and then stop back at your face. So now we have our 2 arms, but we need our legs. So what we are going to do is from your cape, let's put one leg out, so one line going outward and stop. Then you're going to write the letter J, and then from that part, that little curvy part of your letter J, you're going to draw another straight line going back to your cape. Let's do our next leg. Ready? So a line going out, letter J, then a line going back to our cape. Nice job. And we might even put some lines in between the 2 lines of our legs to show boots. That is up to you. Okay. Now that I have my superhero and my buildings and my ground and my street, if you want to, you can add the clouds. And the clouds are these curved lines that we call scallop lines. And these scallop lines can go around and create your clouds. And maybe you even want a sun. Up to you. You don't have to. Okay, maybe I'll put one little cloud here going off my page, and maybe I'll do one here going behind my building. Notice I did not do my cloud on top of my building because the clouds are behind the building. So I stopped as soon as my cloud line hit my building. Now I'm ready to color. So when we are coloring, we want to use best coloring. Best coloring means when you use small strokes to fill in a space and overlapping your strokes and trying to stay in the lines. Not big strokes that get out of the lines, but small strokes. Small little zigzags, back, forth, so that you can control your crayon And you can fill in as much of that white space as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start coloring in with Best Coloring my street. And on my street, there are those painted yellow lines. So I'm going to switch crayons to my yellow crayon. I'm going to start filling in those rectangles with yellow. Then I'm going to start coloring in my grass. So I can pick a green. And again, I'm going to use small strokes, back, forth, zigzagging it, trying to stay in the lines. If I get outside the lines, is that okay? Yeah, it's okay. You're practicing, but try to stay in your lines when you are coloring in. Okay, so small strokes, back, forth. I'm going to go underneath my street, small strokes, back, forth, trying to fill in all the white space with my best coloring to make those colors look very solid. Once I have that all colored in, I'm going to start coloring in my buildings. Now you can make your buildings any color you want to, okay? So they can be all the same color or they can be many different colors. It doesn't matter. But all the windows, let's color them in yellow to show that the person that's inside the building has their light on. So you can use a yellow crayon to fill in all those small rectangular windows. And once we have our windows colored in, what you can do is then start selecting colors for your buildings. And I'll let you choose whichever colors you want. So maybe I'll start my first building to be purple. So I'm going to pick out my purple crayon, use small strokes back and forth. I can color in my door the same color because my door is painted the same color as my building. But if you want to make your door a different color, that is completely up to you. You can use your creativity. My first building is purple. Maybe my second building is orange. You can make your buildings any colors. In fact, if you want to make your buildings even 2 colors, that's fine. Again, you can do whatever you want with the coloring of the buildings. Okay, so once I have that filled in, I'll pick a different color. Now, the one thing I'm thinking about when I'm choosing my building colors is that I haven't used blue because I know that my sky is going to be blue. So if I make my buildings blue, the same blue as my sky, my building might look invisible, and I don't want my building to look invisible. So I am purposely not going to color in one of these buildings with a blue that I'm going to use for the sky. So I'm going to use different colors other than the blue that I'm going to use for my sky to fill in these buildings. So I'm going to use small strokes, back, forth, trying to fill in. I got outside my lines, but that's okay. I'm trying my best. And I'm going to fill that in, move on to my next color. I have not used red, so I'm going to use that one. Again, you can use whatever colors you want to. And I'm going to fill that in. What color haven't I used yet? Magenta, which is one of my favorite colors, which is like a purpley pink. And then I'm going to fill in my last building, fully coloring it in, using small strokes. And wow, that looks great. So my next step is I'm going to start coloring the blue of my sky. So I can pick a blue color And the same way I've been coloring, I'm using my best coloring, trying not to get outside the lines, just using small zigzag strokes, back, forth, filling in all the background white space as much as I can. Oh, I got on my boot. Is that a big deal? No, because I'm going to color over that. It's totally fine. I'm going to color all of my sky this blue because it's a gorgeous sunny day. And I want my superhero to be flying on a gorgeous sunny day. And once I have my sky filled in with my blue, avoiding my white clouds, I'm going to leave those clouds white. I can also fill in the yellow of my sun if you have a sun in your picture. And now I'm on to coloring my superhero. So you get to make up whatever colors your superhero's uniform is supposed to be. But remember, if you use the same blue that you did to color in your sky on your uniform, your superhero is going to look invisible. So it depends. Do you want your superhero to be visible or invisible? I want my superhero to be visible, which means to be seen. So I'm going to choose colors that are not the same color as my sky. So maybe I'll use the magenta for my cape. Okay. I can use, let's see, I might use the dark green for my leggings. And I'm gonna use orange for the boots. I can make them all different colors, up to you. But now we're here at the part where we have to think about what skin tone our superhero is going to have. So think about your superhero, okay? Think about, do they have brown skin? If so, if they have brown skin, you're gonna find a brown crayon and you're gonna fill in your superhero's skin with brown, okay? If your superhero has light skin, you can look in your crayon box, see if there is a tan to fill in your superhero's skin, a light skin. However, if you do not have this tan color in your crayon box, you can use orange, but here's the sneaky trick. Instead of pressing down hard with your orange, don't press down hard, just do it feather light, barely touching, and it still looks like a light skin tone. Wow, let's take a look at our work. Oh, beautiful. I can't wait to see yours.